The music, Kim, it's on the computer. Just click on that, thank you. Okay, so sideline technique, not the first time that we're going to do a demonstration. I think it's one of the most preferred technique in massage therapy, especially in advanced technique, that you can do a lot more with the client. However, because it's complicated, especially the draping, then we're going to look into preparing them to the treatment and then how do you actually do it. So let's take a situation that the client is facing down, okay? So what you need to do first is to open up if the client has the towel tucked into their underwear, then you need to undo it. It's nice always to fully take all the beside one towel, all towels, but you can do that in two ways basically. One way, take this towel and then ask them to turn. And again, the turn, I'm not telling them, I'm just tapping on the shoulder to say, please come and turn this way, okay? That's one way. The other way is with the two towels. The two towels is a little bit harder. You need to kind of catch the two towels and then do that. So can you come and turn this way? Thank you. Onto your side. Yeah, thank you. Then the first thing you need to put is a pillow. Yeah? Maybe I can do that. I can do that without the towel so you can see more what happens. So in this situation, as you already know, I need to bend their knees. Yeah? Because when I bend their knees, they are more stable. However, it's interesting, come closer from the top here. And there are a few ways that you can see that the upper body lies. One is this way. The other one, if you take this shoulder and actually like that, yeah? The other one is this way. Do you see the difference? So she was kind of turned anyhow, yeah? So I think I would suggest you to try to put them not completely on their sides, but I have this on for a second, but actually a bit what's called off their shoulder, like that, yeah? Off the shoulder, because we're never lying right on the shoulder. We're lying a little bit on the back shoulder side, yes? Okay. So this is sorted. Actually, not so much sorted because I see that she's struggling with a pillow. Do you see that?
Yes.
The pillow is too thin for her. Yeah? So what you can do is this way. Yeah? So there should be a straighter line. Yeah? Now, it's not a treatment, and in the treatment I will ask them to collect the hair. Yeah? Thank you, that's good. So the hair is out of the way, okay? Are we continuing that? I just want you to see how much preparation you need to do, which in a way, if you're not practicing it, forget it, it's not gonna happen. And if it's gonna happen badly. So, sideline technique is one of the techniques that if you do well, it's fantastic. But if you do bad, it's really bad. And you can get the towel and you trying to figure out what to do next. So you need a preparation. That's what I think. Better to meet student to student and do it after class than with your client. Because sometimes you don't want to break the magic with a client. Next is you're going to have another pillow here in between their legs, mostly for women because the hip is wider and it just, especially if you want to work on the hip, when the knees knock this way, it stretches this muscle here. So it's nice to really put their leg into that position. Yeah? But I'm not going to do it now because I'm going to use the pillow, the second pillow, for something different. And then you're going to cover the top similar to how you do with the rest. You just secure it. Do that. And then you can ask them, can you take this end and tuck this under your body? Fine, fantastic. They've done it, end of the story. I asked them to do that. Then you can then take the pillow and hug it. Okay? So that's secure, nice. Sure. I don't say not to, I would say that you do need 3 pillows. Yeah? But for now, I would rather use this pillow over here. Okay, now we're going to start doing some light mobilization with in this position. So the first joint that you need to mobilize is actually not a joint really, it's more the scapula itself. Yeah, excuse me for a second, let's bring okay. So here it is, we have the shoulder region has few joints in them. One is called the shoulder joint, which is the joint between the humerus and the scapula. Yeah? However, there is another kind of joint that is between the scapula and the ribs. It's not a joint because there is not really a joint, but it's 2 bones coming together. And that joint, it's called pseudo joint because it's not a real joint. You can glide and move. You can do elevation, depression, protraction, retraction. Yeah? So, which joint do I target now? There are actually 2 more joints here. The AC joint, acromioclavicular joint, which is here, and the sternoclavicular joint, but leave it, okay? Okay. So, I'm going to move her shoulder as a whole, the scapula. I'm going to move the scapula. Now, before we starting, why do we need joint mobilization as a technique? What does it do?
Shows us whether this might be stiffness or restricted movement.
So first, it can tell us if there is stiffness. Yeah. And then if there is a stiffness, what we can do?
Does it in some way help to stimulate the production of the synovial fluid in
Maybe.
some way?
So with movement, you get more synovial fluid. But coming back to before, if you feel stiffness, then maybe you can reduce it. Yeah? You can reduce the stiffness. Yeah? So the idea of joint mobilization is to increase the movement of the joint. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. However, it also brings awareness to you and to the client. If you're moving a joint and the client very stiff, not because the joint is stiff, but because they're not allowing you to move it, you can see that there is a behavior of movement that not well. They are too much in control, they cannot relax, and they're stiffening the joint. Have you ever had a client that you're mobilizing and then the hand kind of stay there?
Yeah.
Anyone? Yes? So, and then they kind of like don't recognize why you've left the hands there. They don't have, it's not stiff, but behaviorally, what do I mean by behavior? Habit,
Yeah.
thank you, that's a good way to look at it. Their habit, they have a stiff habit of just holding everything. And they're just stiff. They can move it if they want, but they're holding it. Tension, stress, habit. Yeah? So one thing that joint mobilization may help is not improving the movement, because the movement here would be fine if the client allows that. If their habit allows that. But a lot of the time you would feel that it's stiff not because they don't have the movement, but because they don't allow it. Do you see the difference? Mm-hmm. If they don't have the movement, it means that the joint itself has some problem. The muscles are tight, etc. If they're in the brain don't allow it, The problem is here. It's not in there. So that's just a way to a different way to think about joint mobilization. Why do we do that? So, how do we approach the joint mobilization? First of all, you need to be stable and position your body that you allow the movement to happen quite relaxingly for them. To do that, you need to really fix and secure their joint a lot more than what you think. So, for example, if I would do joint mobilization here, I don't feel that her hand are relaxed. Why? Because her body tell her, he doesn't care. He does not support me. I need to support myself. If I want to build trust, and there is, more than anything else, there is a build trust between yourself and you trying to teach their body and the mind to how does it feel to let go? How does it feel to relax? How does it feel to have a different behavior? Yeah, you can be stiff, but how is it to be relaxed? Then you need to show them how to do that. You need to actually, your body teach their body how to do it. If you're stiff, it's not going to happen. So you need to be quite flexible and relaxed, and then you need to fix their shoulder, their joint onto you and move it with. A nice way to do that is to increase the amount of contact between you and them. So look at that. I'm having one position of contact, 2, 3 with my side, 4. So now if I move, there is a lot more trust from the shoulder, from the person, because you are more in control. Yes? So that increase the contact movement, allow more movement. Yeah? So try it again. You're taking your arm underneath and it's forearm to forearm. With the other hand, you put it around the shoulder, not with digging fingers, but with the whole palm. And you rest. Then your body fixes onto the side, then your other hand. Now, now I move my hands. I try not to do that because I'm losing contact, you see? But I'm fixing it, and then I move my body with it. Then I can do a lot more nice circles. But actually, I don't care much about the amount of movement. I mean, I do care about the amount of movement, but I also care about the quality of movement. Any places when they kind of try to help me, any places that they're holding it. Yeah? So what I'm trying to say that there is a lot of listening. Where it does not want to go, then you try to trick their mind. Maybe I should go another way. Maybe they're trying to help. So I want to see how much they allow it to happen kind of naturally. You know? Maybe a little bit more to the back, a little bit more to the front. Okay. That's the only thing I wanted to practice. Because that really is a key. Keep them in the right position, make them comfortable, make them secure so they can let go. There is always a trust happening. When you're massaging is less trust because you're not moving it. But when you start moving, you take more responsibility. And you need to be more, the contact between you and the client is quite close. And if you start stressing or start moving and like, bored or not sure, they would feel everything. So you really mentally need to be prepared for it. Take your time, you're learning it. You're not starting and knowing it, otherwise you wouldn't need the course. So you need to learn it and you need to practice it. And and understand that you are part of it. You're putting yourself in that duet. Yeah? It's not only them, it's you as well. Shall we, any question? Okay. You can do that. Why don't we do that with clothes? Okay, so it will be simpler, but